Yeah, good day everyone. Welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be doing a study of Boichi. Um, he's a very skilled manga artist. I think he's Korean. I believe he's Korean, and he has been a mainstay in the manga industry for a while now. He has worked on a lot of projects. Some of his notable projects are like Dr. Stone and Sunken Rock. I don't believe a lot of people have, actually read Sunken Rock. They've probably seen his drawings, probably on Pinterest or something like that, but they haven't read Sunken Rock. I read Sunken Rock, but I wasn't I didn't really like the manga in terms of like the storytelling and the characters, but I liked the art, so I just read through it. Um, I didn't read everything. I didn't think I read every single chapter, but I was just flipping through it. You know when you're flipping through an art book. That's how I read Sunken Rock. I haven't read Doctor Stone, although I haven't like completed Doctor Stone, but I read a few chapters here and there. So yeah, that's Boichi. Really skilled. The way he does his hatching is quite different from that of other artists. It's normal hatching, but it's quite distinctive. Um, in the sense that he uses like sometimes his hatching lines could look like pencils. Um, yeah, so I'm just going to draw what I'm seeing here. Boichi. Yeah, I haven't like properly done a like deep dive into like studying his art and things like that. So yeah, uh, but one of the things I also like about his art is I like the way he draws eyes. Like if you're talking about distinctive things you can look at in his art, especially characters he cares about a lot. That there's a particular way he draws their eyes. So like for the guys, for instance, now he could rather than just drawing the normal eyes, yeah, right like this. Hope you can see that. Rather than just drawing the normal eyes like this, he's going to curve this area. Going to curve this area like this, and of course he's going to put, because he has like a realistic style, and he's going to kind of like thicken the lines uh, to the point where it feels like the characters are wearing eyeliner. Well, the male characters rather. Not all the characters. He does have distinctive characters, but a lot of the time, like his main characters, they do look like this. A lot of the times. And for the female characters he draws, the proport and his men, like they look very rugged. They look handsome. They look like femboys. They have the face of femboys, but like the bodies of like calisthenic athletes and bodybuilders. Not bodybuilders. Not like Olympic. Um, like they have like really dense muscle. That's just what I'm going to say. Um, yeah, with his characters. So yeah, and I'm just going to draw what I see. I really like his. You see that thing I was talking about previously, where the outside. Look how defined the drawing is. Like on the outside, the outline, and then the inside just has like a bunch of hatches and things like that. Just really nice contrast in that way. Use this. What would I call it now? Um, what I say uses hatching lines really interesting, in a very interesting way, rather. So I'm just going to start and get the whole pose. Been yapping now for a bit. If you're just tuning in, please give the video a like. I really appreciate it. Thanks to every single person that has been subscribing, every single new subscriber. And The hair, the way he drew the hair here, it's quite nice. Can't lie. I'm just try and be fast with it. Just going to do this, and you can see the foreshortening of the hands. I notice most times when I do my sketches, I do try to be very accurate, and I've complained about this a lot, but it's not good at all. Anyways, technique that helps me out. We use our T shape to help define the torso. I need to increase the size of his face. I always need to increase the size of the face because I always make them too small. Even though his body is bigger, much bigger. Of course, you can see the box shape with the character. With the torso, you could just break it down into a box, depending on what suits you best. I'm going to use the shape. I actually was thinking of doing Yusuke Murata today, but usually whenever I try to do a study of a character's art, of an artist's work, I do have to be like liking what I see. Um, Hello, Anne FTW on Roblox. How are you doing? I really appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Yeah, as I was saying, I was thinking about studying Yusuke Murata's art today, rather than Boichi, but usually I kind of have to, sort of like what I'm seeing in terms of like the drawing, before I then like copy it, like or replicate it, whatever. And I was looking at some Yusuke Murata's drawings, and like nothing was really moving me, to be honest. And I noticed another thing, like because when I before I knew about like Yusuke Murata, like I do have him as one of my favorite artists, like of all time. But before I knew about him, a lot of people did talk about Yusuke Murata a lot. Um, you said how and you said, how did I learn to draw naturally? How did I learn to draw naturally, or did I learn later? Um, I believe in this thing called aptitude, and I believe that some people have much more aptitude to learn certain things. Like, for instance, there are people that have aptitudes towards things like mathematics and physics and sciences, but I do believe that everything can be learned. We all have like, well, not exactly the same brain, but we all have, as humans, we all have a brain. And I believe everything can be learned under like a certain amount of pressure, or like under the right amount of pressure and the right approach to tutelage. So the way I actually um, learned how to draw, because it's something I'm still doing, is that first of all, I actually liked art. So I liked things like poses, I liked cartoons, I liked. You said you don't have Apple Pen, so you draw bad with fingers. Like, do you mean you draw bad like naturally? Like you draw like you mean like you can't your drawings doesn't look great whenever you use like normal pencil or traditional means? Is that what you mean? But with regards to your first question, what I meant is that like everyone has aptitude to something. So I liked drawing. Um, so I liked like things like superheroes, right? I like superhero poses. Like I would see like a superhero bag, like a Batman backpack or a Spider-Man backpack, because those were popular with children, and I would like it and I would want to draw it. Things like that just naturally appealed to me. So what that did is that I would just try to draw it, regardless of skill. So I was drawing for a very long time since I was young. So even though I wasn't drawing or studying in the right approach, I was studying. I was drawing nonetheless. So I would post cartoons and draw them. Um, and yeah, that's the first aptitude. That's what I'll say. And a lot of times, because of my concentration, the drawings looked okay. They didn't, they weren't perfect, but they looked okay. They could be improved upon. Um, yeah, so that was the first stage. And then I eventually, it's of recent that I actually started doing studying art properly. My first introduction to like drawing, like studying art, was a book called Action Cartooning by Ben Cardwell. It was introduced to me by my art teacher when I was in my fifth, I think my fifth year of secondary school. um, so I think I was around 14 then, or so, around 14 years old. Yeah, so that was my first introduction to like a proper book on how to draw action poses and figures. So, and yeah, that was my introduction to studying art, um, action cartooning. And yeah, I used that, and the knowledge I got from there, it was what I used to draw and learn. So I would say I have a natural aptitude, but I did learn how to draw. You have to develop it, otherwise it's going to die. And you actually genuinely have to like it. Otherwise, because the learning process can be quite tough. When you go online, you see a lot of good artists. So it can be quite frustrating when you see those artists and you look at your art and it's not up to par. It's not up to standard. So you just have to push through it. And if you don't like it, it's going to be difficult to push through it. Like me, I don't like science like that. Like science is fascinating when you see it in movies and things like that. And when you see like a prodigy or a genius like expressing love for science. But I don't like science. I wasn't good at math. Um, I wasn't good at like sciences in general. I was mostly good at art and like social sciences. So you just have to like it. You said you like art, but mostly anime. You love to draw anime. Um, yeah, I do like. I would say the medium I like the most is comic books. Anime is cool, but like sometimes the art, because of how I don't know, I have a preference. The same thing I talk about aptitude. People also have like preferences for the art style that they like, and I personally don't like anime is cool. I'm not like bashing anime or anything. Like anime is cool and fun and stuff. I've watched a lot of anime and I like anime. But like the art style, I just don't like the art style. For me, I kind of like a much more realistic art style. The art style that not realistic in the sense of like showing life exactly, but I would say I like semi-stylized art style. Yeah, and anime is just like extremely stylized. Um, yeah, I like seeing a bit of like realism in my work. I'll just put it like that. My favorite artists are stylized artists, and I have a lot of manga artists that I like. But yeah, anime art. Yeah, so like if you like anime art, I would say like of course it definitely means you've drawn a lot of anime art, and you've done a lot of what would I call it now? um you just like copied a lot of the artists. But ideally, the best way to get good at anime art, first of all, to kind of understand what they are doing, is to like get the fundamentals as an artist. Like once you get the basic, because anime arts involves a lot of drawing, a lot of art fundamentals, a lot of perspective. At the end of the day, these guys are artists, so they're just combining their natural knowledge to like what they like. they're just applying their natural knowledge, like what they've already studied as artists. So yeah, I would say, like, learn art fundamentals first if you want to improve. The reason why you might, try to get like draw like anime artist and you don't get it, probably because you haven't done proper studies. You don't just jump into anime art. I mean, you can, but you don't just jump into anime art. You actually have to go back and do the fundamentals, the hard and boring work. And then you kind of understand how the anime art itself works. So that's what I would suggest. You said you use apps for drawing on paper, like AR drawing. I don't know what AR drawing is, um, but you said you use apps for drawing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I get what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I've seen that device or gadget, but I've never actually used it. But I know what you mean. Um, and what I would just say is, like, do you have a YouTube page? Is this I wish I could access. I should be able to. I don't know. I'm trying to access the YouTube, if you have YouTube or not, to see your drawings. Um, it would be nice to see your drawings if you are online or on WhatsApp. I say WhatsApp, on Instagram or like Pinterest. Just tell me your name, and I'll probably check out your drawings um and look at it. But usually you just have to like understand the basics, I would say. Um, that's what I try to do, because my art is not the level I want. I do believe I'm not, as good as I want to be, but I'm okay. I'm okay to, get a lot of works done. So you said AR drawing is an app where you place your phone on big glass and you find picture that you want to draw, and you select transparency. You place your phone on a big glass and you find a picture that you want to draw, and you select transparency. Hmm. I might check it out. I could check it out now. AR drawing. Let's see. AR drawing. Let me just expand this first. AR drawing. We learn every day. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. I still need to look at it though. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Well, in answer to your question, like learning anything, you have to just learn the basics first. Like, I know it's all flashy to draw something like this. Like, for instance, like this pose, for instance, it's really fun to like draw it, but you wouldn't really understand how it works, like fundamentally, and how things look if you don't study like structure and figure drawing. It's just a lot more better for you, for everyone, rather. I always advocate for learning, and I don't like it. It's something I've hesitated to do for a very long time. I only started recently to, study art like properly as a student by myself. So you have to sort of learn that hard part, that boring part, like get an art book. And well, the best way to learn, in my opinion, is to just copy, and eventually you kind of understand what's going on with the anatomy. So you could get a book like Anatomy for Sculptors, something like that. You could get George Bridgman. You could get what's his name? What's the name of the artist? Andrew Loomis, figure drawing books and his portrait drawing. Because once you understood proportions and structure, it's going to be very easy for you to draw and you begin to notice patterns in every single drawing, no matter how distinct they are in terms of art style. And also, that is one of the quickest way to find your art style if that's something you're interested in. You're welcome. You're welcome, Anne. You said you would try on weekends. You have school, so oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. It can be quite difficult. It's not easy. Because we have to balance life and things like that. Paying bills, like for me as an adult, paying bills, family, if you have family, um, so like there are demands here and there, but if you're really passionate about it, it's something you definitely commit time to, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. But school can be quite difficult as well, and tasking, a lot of homeworks, a lot of demands, a lot of projects. But you can always create time every day to do it. You said you're going to sleep for school tomorrow. It's late for you. All right, no problem. Have a good night rest. Um, yeah, I'll see you around too. I'll see you right around too on lives. Yeah, yeah, on lives. I do come on lives as often as possible. And thank you for stopping by, and thank you for leaving a like on the video and asking me questions and helps me out. So and good luck with school as well and your art. Good luck with school and art. And see you later. Yeah. So what was I talking about? I was talking about Yusuke Murata. Yeah, so like usually I have to kind of be inspired by what I'm looking at, and if I don't like what I'm looking at, um, yeah, I just wouldn't draw it. And also, I was at the time I wanted to copy his style verbatim, like his art style. I really wanted to just copy everything, like the way he drew men, the way he drew women, the way he drew muscles, the way he drew action poses. But like I did it for some time, like but it just wasn't working out for me. I didn't like the look of the artwork. Um yeah, so I don't know, I just came off it, I would say. So most times whenever I look at his art, I mostly like the best way to actually learn for some artists is to look at projects that they've done. Like in terms of comic book art, you look at projects that they've done. So for Yusuke Murata now, it's I show. I said, did I say I show speed? I show speed. I show shield. I think is the name of the comic, the manga he worked on. I show shield. Um, and another one, forgotten the name. He worked on One Punch Man. I think that's the pretty much the most popular one that everyone knows. And yeah, that is it basically. I'm sure he has done more, but and then his art style in terms of like painting, because people do take different choices, artistic choices depending on the medium. You can't notice the consistency in preferences, but there is always something that bless me. Um, there's always something that makes their art look a bit different. I'm not really happy about these hands that I drew here. I can't lie. I'm not happy about it in the slightest. Yeah, that was just the issue. Adjusting the biceps. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, so like most of the times, if I were to do a study of Yusuke Murata, it would probably be fight scenes and action scenes, because that is the thing I like most about his art. I like how he draws fight scenes, like it's so dynamic and so, I don't know, it's so cool. He knows how to draw like really disastrous looking like scenes, like where the fight, like his fight scenes are just the best in my opinion. And the difference between his art and that of other like Western artists or even manga in general, the difference is that they usually use like blow lines a lot. Like if they were to do like a punch, right? And something like this, like there's a punch, right, of the hand. Like usually, Western comic book artists would probably just draw this, right, and then probably draw something like this. And but manga artists, what they would do rather is they would probably just do these blur lines like this. And usually the reasons why they, well, Western comic book artists make that choice is because of the colorist, I guess, and the work usually has to look very clean. One, two, three, four. So, um, I'll call it now. Manga artists would prefer to do something like this. And I really like that. That's something I really, it just adds a lot of expression and motion to the work, to the artwork, and it actually makes it feel like there's a fight scene going on. But most times, and that's why I like it in black and white, because most times when they do add color to scenes like that, the the color does, in my opinion, most times they just do a disservice to the art in general. Um, they just make it look cheap, a kind of. Um, that's my opinion, though. And this I'm going to try like with the face. I've been I've been avoiding the face for a bit. But I'm going to try and draw the face, but it's probably because I feel like I might make a blunder of it. Anyways, yeah. That's why I didn't like pick out Yusuke Murata. If I was to pick out anything, it would probably be fight scenes and just draw that. Um, so I'm trying to like draw his face. Remember, I usually say like whenever you're drawing, you could like the eyes, you could just use 3 circles to sort of give it like appropriate spacing so that it looks good. I don't want it to look terrible. Yeah, so yeah, that's good, I think. So now I'm going to add detail to it, detail it a bit um, before the rendering. Yeah, he gives his characters this big eyebrow, and it's things like this that actually make me mm, I should probably adopt because my character has big eyebrows, but I don't make them big enough. He has big eyebrows, but I don't make them big enough. I don't know why. I'm just scared, probably scared of just making it look terrible or something. I really like the way he does the hatching lines. Like, that's really cool. All right, so the eyes, normally the tip that has always helped me with drawing eyes is that eyes are in like 3 planes, right? Of course, you draw your eyes, right, and your eyelid. I do a circle or sphere for eyes, and then for the eyelid, I divide it into 5 planes in total. For the eyes, I mean, in general, the planes for the eye, I do one, two, three, and then the tear duct, or I think that's wrong. One, two, three, then the tear duct over here like this, and then one, two, and there's this like diagonal line or peaks which each part of the eye, something like this, and it helps me draw quite good looking eyes. And then of course I could simplify it like with reductions, and then do something like where I could just choose to just do this one, two, yeah, and just go light here like this. Of course, the eyelid has planes on its own, so based on how you're looking at the person's character, the character you're looking at, it's important to do it. And then your iris, I always try to draw it in full, because the sclera or eyeball is round, and that's the reason why you have the shape for the eyelid like that. And then you could use like radial lines to help you to direct the like eyebrows that you're drawing, something like that. I did a lot of art eye studies late last year. So you have the eyelid, the lower eyelid, the upper eyelid, um the lower eyelid, the upper eyelid, something like that. I don't think that's accurate at all. I think it's not. Well, the lower and the upper eyelid, they are planes on their own, kind of like a Pac-Man, like this Pac-Man shape. Yeah, so these are plane and these are plane, and these your eye, like this, and it opens and closes. And yeah, that can help you with the eye. What I learned to draw, one simple way I learned to draw eyes is I did you would draw like two parallel lines like this. I learned this from what's his name, Art Gem. And then you just use like a parallelogram. I think that's the shape, or is it? No, I think it's parallelogram, something like this. um Hello, Mr. Gulama, Gulam artist, Gulam artist. I'm going to call you Gulam artist. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a nice day. Um, yeah. So this line like this, and then he will then draw something like this, and then you have an eye. And usually you see this a lot in like with the anime arts, anime eyes or something like that. Um, what's his name? Takehiko Inoue draws eyes a lot like this. Very Asian like eyes. I mean, different people around the world have eyes like this, of course, but I see this a lot with manga artists. They draw eyes like this if they want to detail it. Yeah, so that's just a quick lesson on drawing eyes. And then, of course, you could always simplify, and stylize if you want. Um, could always simplify and stylize, and that's why we do art studies for artists we like, because this art style is quite different from this and quite different from this, so you know what each artist likes and you can decide to study that if you want. Hope you're having a great day, Mr. Gulam. uh, it seems you're an artist as well. What medium do you focus on? Do you do like portrait art, or do you do um, comic book art, or like environment art, or what's your medium? Or are you an animation artist? And you can see he does add the planes of the eyes. So this is why, like, when you study realistically, so that you can understand the choices these artists are making, because yes, you can see the planes of the eyes, and because his face is facing down, like his face is kind of like this, right? His face is facing downwards like this. You're going to see the lower eyelids, the lower planes of the eyelids like this. You're going to see the lower planes of the eyelids like this. And if he were to be, if his head were to be a bit higher like this, you're going to see the upper plane of the eyes. So it's going to be something, it would be something like this. and then the lower plane of the eyes is going to be like this. Yeah, so take note of that. Perspective really affects how the eyes look. Then of course the iris and pupil and the tear duct. It's always like, even up to now, even though I know how to draw, I do get scared of drawing the other eyes. I can't lie. I do get scared of drawing it. So the plane of the eye probably made the eye too short. Should probably make it longer. You can see that thing I was talking about, his eyes, where like he sort of put sort of like an eyeliner effect on both male and female. Like the eyes are, the eye lines is quite thick. And instead of just putting like, there are scenes where he does that, but um that this is usually his preference. But if this were to be a lady, he's going to make the eyelashes very thick, a lot more thicker than it is now. Another thing about eyes, when you're drawing eyes, is that like, however large the iris is going to determine, it also adds like expression to the character. So if your character has like large irises, usually the characters are very cute. Um, and if they have like little irises, it can tell how serious they are, or maybe they're extremely angry, or like they are knocked out, something along those lines. So yeah, if you look at Boichi's women, the women he draws, he gives them really huge bug eyes, and the men, they do have huge eyes as well, but they are a lot more serious and a lot more rugged looking. um and what else about the eyes? I wanted to say something, but I forgot what I wanted to say. I'm going to add this little line here. On the nose, I like that he actually draws the nose. Even though for when he draws women, the noses are quite small, a lot smaller than like that of guys. And also the same thing about drawing the nose, right? You kind of have to know the structure of the nose itself to properly draw it. And the same thing with the angle. The angle is going to determine whether you're seeing the nostrils or not. Like, we're not seeing the nostrils um, or the nose in this angle, so we kind of understand the shape, like the maxilla, the nasal bone. Like if you look at a skeleton, the nose just ends here, and then there's the eyes like this, and then we have our maxilla over here like this. Yeah, so we have our nasal bone here, and then we have our keystone area over here like this, and that's where the nose actually starts from. And then you see that over here like this down is just cartilage that we have. So that's why if you touch your nose, it's quite soft in that area. It's quite soft in that area. And we have our septum here, the nostrils, and then the wings of the nose. So once you know like this basic structure, drawing the nose at any angle is going to be a lot more easier. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy per se. It's just going to be much more easier to approach when drawing. And I really like when I see this a bit of realistic art style, like semi-stylized art styles like this. um that are very energetic and have like powerful looking poses and art styles, but then the characters look a bit like realistic as well. Then the mouth, I'm going to make my character's mouth a bit like more bigger. He does give like his male characters normal lips sometimes, but his characters do have like thin lips. Um, but I have to, my characters are mostly African or black, so in fact I'm going to just add a bit of this to just make it look like he's saying something. You can see the curve of the mouth as well. Same thing I was talking about with the mouth is the same thing you have to look at when same thing I was talking about with the eyes and nose is the same thing you have to look at when studying the mouth. You have to study the mouth to kind of understand how things work so that you can easily manipulate it and make a different choice when you're working. Sort of like what I just did here. Um, Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck like copying artists when maybe you wanted to take a different route in terms of choice. I'm going to add a beard. I'm going to give him a beard. Right, first of all, before I add all that, I'm going to add his ear. Um, Hopefully that's looking all right. I'm going to flip it to see if I'm making any errors. All right, this jaw here is a bit uneven. Always flip. Flipping actually helps you. I believe traditionally, all you could do is that you could just flip your paper and then hold your work to the light, and then you could see like transparently um, if it's if the drawing is going all right. And it also helps you to see like the mistakes that you're making with your art as well. Mm. If you're just tuning in, please give the video a like. Thank you. Um, Trying to get to 2K. Well, I've been trying for months now, so I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe if you haven't. So like in terms of construction, the nose and mouth, the ear extends from like the brow line all the way to the bottom of the nose. So you have to take that into consideration. Then the ear, details of the ear. I made a mistake with that. Yeah, yeah, I think that's all right. And then this side as well for the ears. I will admit that even up to today, I do make mistakes with regards to the positioning of the ear in different head angles because it has been a challenge for me. And what I usually do is that at the end of the day, I just end up using my face as a reference to help me properly position the ears. All right, so the head. So once you understand how the head looks and how the head works, as you can see, because his head is bending slightly, there's going to be more on the forehead, like more of the head to actually see. So then we're going to have the hairline around this area. I think that's what I'm going to do. I also like the way he draws like the stubbles of hair. Uh, it's really fun. Another person I really like the way he draws hair is Inoue. I like the way he draws like stubble hair. Because I always wondered how like the right way to express that in comics would be. Whether I would use like pointillism or a different hatching technique. Of course, you can use pointillism. It's all like in the technique. Yeah, so I have my character's hair now, and he has a bit of an afro, so I'm going to add that here, like this. I never actually always get the right length or the right amount of the afro that he has. Right, so you can see how the volume, the distance between the volume of the hair actually works. So to actually get the hair correctly, you do need to draw the head correctly so that your hair doesn't look off when you actually draw it, and it looks clean as well. All right, let me add his beard like that I have here. This is his cheekbones. And the beard, the beards usually add volume to the face. Um, so and that's why the same thing with the hair, kind of, it adds volume to the face. So you're going to see, and that's why like just a simple beard can change the appearance of a person or a person's or a character, or rather, drastically. Ideally, it would be like this. And then I'll just erase this part. And you can see. And then I'll just erase this head over here like this. And that's starting to look all right, I think. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. And you know what I could do? Mm, I could definitely add my character's costume now that I think about it. But I think it will sort of like interfere with his face and how his face is looking. Let's see. Let's try it out first. I'm going to try it out first. As much as I want to draw the muscles of these hands, can't lie, but I just can't resist. Same thing with each costume. Same principle I just applied with the beard and the hair. It applies to whatever costume your superhero is wearing. Usually, you sort of need to understand anatomy so that you can then place whatever costume you're placing on your character, and so that it will also look like it belongs as well. Yeah, and that's looking a bit off, I can't lie. Yeah, I will deal with it anyways. Then there are like one, two, three. Mm, yeah, something like this. You also need to understand, because the form of the knuckles is kind of shaping shaping this. It's kind of like interfering with the look. And then characters claws. Let's get the shape of the gauntlet first, and then add something like this. Yeah, something like this, and then we can then go and be a bit more cheeky. Then do something like this. And yeah, that's perspective at work. Could even do this. It's a study, but you have to have fun and add your own character. Do your own thing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And let's continue with the sketch. And over here, I was thinking about adding, let me add it in the other hands as well. Please, if you're just tuning in, please make sure to hit the like button. I appreciate you doing that. Helps me out a lot. Ideally, this muscle would be overlapping the gauntlet. So where does that looks? I want to stick with it. I'm going to sort of do the outlines, and so the character's sternocleidomastoid. We've done with the face. Now his outfit. The neck. I think I even started the neck wrongly. Where the trapeze starts from should be from here, I believe. Yeah, I'm not going to do the rest of the outfit. Just I think it is looking all right. Let me just fix this hands. All right. 1, 2, 3. I think one more. One more is missing one hand. Here like this, and then the I think this can be detailed in when I'm like adding the detail. It's not, you don't need to add so much with this. Just need to see how the hands look and how to make it a bit more structured. Look at that, look at the shapes. And take notes, it's sloping downwards, so you kind of have to take note of that. Simple shapes to add depth. Look at that. That knuckle is quite huge. Probably not anatomically accurate. Definitely not anatomically accurate. But I'll stick with it. I like it. Yeah. You know what? I might just stick with him wearing like nothing. Um, him being shirtless. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to just start with the face, ink that, and then like move on to the rest of the body. Yeah. Come, let me do something. Un momento. All right, back. I'm just going to begin applying some detail. I want to give him like some eyebrow shapes. I don't want to make it like completely black. I guess it didn't work how I wanted it to work. Mm. Character is a bit older, so I want to add some aging lines around his face. Okay, that's a straight black. Then it's iris, and then it's pupil. It's a bit of a detail there. There was one eye drawing I saw he did that it was really detailed. He does like his detailing. I can't lie. Um, Even to like points where I wouldn't prefer. Eyebrows are quite eyeline. That is that the right word? Eyeline. right, the second eye. I think that came out all right. Probably could be better. Let's add the hatches. I do like that. That looks good. The outside eyeline is what's going to be thicker because of the eyelashes, ideally. So you can see the shape of the sclera around the eye. That looks all right. You know what? I want to add this like this. Even though, like, ideally the shadow, you could just, do something like that. Plus, he's going to have a beard, so I like how much care he takes to his work. It looks rough, but that is done with intent. So apparently, the light is coming from the left side, so we're going to have some shadows over here like this. That wouldn't be his ideal shading technique, but I like what I did there, so I'm going to keep it. And you can see how the shadows is following the shape of the maxilla and the structure of the nose. I really like how it's coming out. So there'll be some line weight here. And then these inner lines are going to be thinner or thicker, you could argue. These inner ones could be thicker, you could argue that. And then this one's outside thicker. And then really thin lines for the lips, for the upper lips, I mean. And then I like how like there's a thicker edge here. Look how much depth that just adds to the character for that jawline area. Ideally, it should be like this and like this. I think just going to add this beard like this. He would detail this beard a lot better than I am about to. So I'm going to try and see if I can be consistent with that. Because there was a character that has beard that he drew. Let me look at the beard he did. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's interesting. It almost looks like every individual stubble on the hair is done. I'll follow that. Look at that. It takes so much time, man, but he's still fast. And one thing I like, I because I did look at Dr. Stone, and I heard that Dr. Stone was actually a weekly shonen manga. It was done weekly. I know, of course, they'll have assistants and all that, but the fact that he maintained this art style, not exactly this level of detailing, because he had to, because it's weekly, he definitely had to like reduce the level of detailing, like how much detail and how much time he would spend on a particular panel or page. And of course, he would pick his moments a lot better. Um, but I just appreciated how much he like was consistent with style. Like at the moment, I wouldn't say I have an art style in terms of like comic book art. I have art style with painting. I have, I know how I like my paintings to look. Um, but like with the comic book art itself, I haven't like really figured out. I know what I like, I know the artist I like, but I haven't done enough comic to the point where I could say I have an established art style. But with his art, Boichi, I like how consistent he was in what's the name of the manga? Dr. Stone. Despite the fact that it was a weekly manga. And I like this texture on the mouth here. Like that is really nice. I'll add that. Plus, since the light is coming from the, you know, left. Yeah, let's not do too much. It can be fun and all, but sometimes you could be doing too much. Let's continue back. Anyways, that's the beard. Let's do the hair. I like the texture, how we just like you could almost be deceived that he's drawing every strand. And, just do a little bit because usually there are hairs around that just you could just do that. And let's add the second ear. The first ear, I mean. Haven't done the second. That needs to curve, but because of the hair volume is kind of overlapping it. And of course, the shadow. that's looking all right. Then the hair. Yeah, that looks all right. Of course, you could just like add a little bit of strands here and there. I could add um, some strands here, there. Yeah, to make it look like a more natural hair. Of course, there's a bit of shadow here, like he's been beaten. Oh, I have to be careful. There's just so much going on the face alone. Like you think it's just like easy to just get this done, but there's just a lot going on. Mm. The line width, I'm trying to take note of it because that's what adds depth to the work, makes it look really good, and just makes the work, the line art just pop. Yeah, that's all right. That looks good. Could be better. Always, it could be better, but we'll just leave it there like that. We'll probably add this frown line that's usually here. That, that looks all right. Mm. Yeah, let's go to where? Yeah, let's work on this. You know what? I want to add the mm, what do we do? Do I add that? You know what? No, I'm just going to put the gloves there like that. Mm, oh, you know what? No, I'm going to add the fingers. I was thinking about giving it a glove, but no, I like the fingers. I want to enjoy the hatches that is going on around there. Also, like I was not organized today. I can't lie. I was also thinking about doing like when I saw um Yusuke Murata's art and I wasn't like feeling it. I I then decided to do like Mokoto Yukimura, the guy who did what's the name of the manga? Vinland Saga. And I also wasn't feeling it. I don't know why. I saw some drawings I liked that I would do, but I just did. Honestly, I just wasn't. And then I searched Boichi, and I was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. I feel like drawing that. Probably tomorrow it will be different. Uh, but yeah, that's just how I felt today. You even add this like that, this stuff here like that. How long have we been on live? Let's just 81 minutes. Oh my goodness, we've been here for an hour. Yo, time flies really fast, man. We've been here for an hour. Yo, that's crazy. I thought we'd be here like we've been here for like maybe 40 minutes or something. Yeah, we've been here for a while, man. Been here for a while. Yeah, the wrinkles on the second knuckle of the hands. Then there's the black there. I'm seeing there's a bit of a black there shadow. Mm, right. Mm, probably some wrinkles and peelings around his hand because it looks like he's been punching something. So just going to try and add that there, like some splatter here and there around his hands. And what else? I like it. If this were to be Ryan Otley, his approach to like applying the blood is going to be a lot more different around his hands. He'd probably just do something like this and be done with. And that is also really nice. I like that as well. How simple he just makes it. Like, this guy is bleeding. Here's the outline for the blood. Simple as that. But um, what I like manga is I also like the way like manga artists how they do their blood. They just make it black like straight to the point, right? They are not coloring like in the instant, so of course they have to. So the value, like blood, naturally, the value of the color of blood is naturally dark. It has like a darker value in comparison to the skin. So it's kind of just, um, will I say, smart that you just make the blood black usually. Um, and I really like that. All right, there's a lot of texture going on in this hand. I really like it. The thing about studies is that they are so fun, but they can be mentally exhausting at the same time because you are focusing on a lot, you're processing a lot of information, you're trying to understand a lot of decisions that are being made by the artist. So by the time you're done, you're going to be proud of what you've drawn or what you've copied, rather. But at the same time, you're going to be mentally drained. I can't lie. Um, but I like it, so that's why I keep doing it. Um, yeah, so that is why, like, if you don't like it, it's going to be difficult for you to. If you don't have, if you don't like, if you are trying to improve, you have no choice than to actually do this because it's in these nitty gritty details that the art actually improves. Your art style actually improves. Decision making gets better. Hello, artist Butterfly. How are you doing? I hope you're having a nice night. It should be morning where you're from, I believe. Early morning. It's morning here as well. It's 12:53 a.m. here. Um, hope you're having a nice morning, a nice day. Uh, how are you doing? Where are you chatting from exactly? Um, yeah, so that's the hands, and then we're going to work on the other hands as well. Yeah, that hand was fun. I like it. It's not as detailed as his, but I like the way it came out. And now we're going to do the other hands. First of all, I'm going to do I'm going to like put the blade that I want to put. Yeah, so the outline for the blade is going to be really thick because of the perspective, um, and also because of where it is. It's in the foreground. It's like the furthermost thing in the walk. So the the outline is going to be very thick. Yeah, I think I got that right. So I'm going to try and be consistent with how he applies his detail. But I'm going to do that with the blade here. So I'm going to see. There was a drawing I saw of Boichi where he really detailed the like a blade. Like the blade was so detailed, it was crazy. Um, I'd never seen like a blade or knife be as detailed as that blade was in my life. Like that was the most detailed knife I had ever seen in comic book. Yeah. So, anyways, this would have to be there would have to be blood on this since there is blood on like the entire. You know what? Reference for blood. I'll probably have to go to what's his name? Ryan Otley and check out his how he draws blood. I'm going to copy that. Yes, so I'm going to sort of do this. Yeah, that is so something like this. Now it should look like it's coming towards you. So we might have to, let me flip this. I don't like where that went. Yeah, I might have to just like improvise. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of yeah, that doesn't look as detailed as I think what I'll just do is this. Just add a bit of texture here and there. Yeah, just yeah, definitely not getting the details correctly, but you have to keep moving. Hello Ransford. How you doing? Hope you're having a nice night. Thanks for showing up again. I really appreciate it. How are you doing? How's your day going? Or how was your day? Um, Hope you're doing all right, man. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Any upcoming projects? Any latest projects? Uh, Whether home or like work or school or what have you been up to lately? I'm doing regarding what I'm doing today. I'm doing BOICHI study. Um, he's a I'm just copying the blood rather. He's a manga artist. I don't know if you know the guy, but I'm very sure you've seen his drawing out somewhere. Like if you are in the art space, you've probably seen his drawing. Um, he worked on what's the name of that manga again? Dr. Stone. Yeah, Dr. Stone. He worked on Dr. Stone. I'm studying for WIC. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So when did this is it starting? Is it starting like on March or because I don't remember. It's been a while since I wrote mine. Hope the studying is going all right. Hope Ghana is going all right. Hope things are cool at your home. Yeah. Which subjects are you having first? On WAEC? Which subjects are you guys starting with? Is it math or English, chemistry, biology? Uh, what else again? Do you guys do civic education? I don't know. They've probably changed the name of that subject now. Civic education. What are the general courses I usually done? Um, Usually our schools usually have like a particular course that are usually compulsory. I think it was between marketing and something else, but I can't remember the other subjects that our school had to choose. Something about business, I think, um, that everybody sort of had to do. No matter the class, whether it's science class or art class, everyone had to do marketing. It was a compulsory subject. Do you guys have something like that? Or a vocational subject? It could be vocational. So it could be something like maybe welding, something like that, um, or like something mechanical, maybe like electrical fixing, something like that. Yeah, I believe like other schools, they do pick a subject for the entire school. There are options that are given, and then they pick a subject. And marketing was the one we picked that everyone had to do. Apart from the traditional English, everyone had to do English. Everyone had to do biology. Everyone had to do civic education as well. Um, Although some people, I think I don't know if government was social sciences in my school, so only the social science students had to do that, but government had to be done by every single class in the school. Yeah, and what other subject? Mm, yeah, I do. I still have my WAEC results as well. I did all right. I believe I even did. I did well in my WAEC because we do have more than one exams. So we have WAEC and then we had NECO. Exam called NECO. I've forgotten the name of NECO, but I think it's Nigerian related. But WAEC is for like the whole West African like countries. So Sierra Leone and Nigeria, Ghana. Um, yeah. So, but we then had our I think our national exams. It was still around the same subjects. But WAEC was much more. I think WAEC was like the best exams I wrote because I had fun actually writing WAEC, and I also did well in the exams. Apart from math, I didn't do well in math. I did all right. I passed math, but like you know, I didn't do well. I didn't get the best grades. All right, Ransford. Bye. Have a nice day. Um, need to increase the size of the brush a bit more. begin to detail these hands. I think I have done a much more detailed version of the hands, I think. Hmm. Let's add what am I doing? Yeah, I'm missing one more finger. Yeah, this is covering it. The lines will be thicker. Of course, because of this, the position of this blade, it's going to be a lot more. Yeah, that's cool. All right, look at the shadow coming from this area. That's cool. Let me reduce the brushes, the brush a bit, so that let me really look at this, his hatching lines. All right. Like that's his skin actually peeling from the fighting. That's really nice. That's the first time I'm noticing that. Definitely need to add shadow around this area, around around here like this, because of right, the hatching lines are a lot thinner. Let me take my time with that. Yeah, so now the skin, I'm really having a tough time getting the accuracy of the skin. Um, so there's like a tear over his skin like this. All right, I think I could get this one. Imagine this was a page. So this is how long it would take. Yo, art is not for the weak, man. I'm gonna tell you now. As much as it's interesting, I'm telling you, this thing can kill a man. Yes. This is why you have to respect artists like this that create entire like comic books that look like this. Of course, it's not the most efficient use of your time, but it is worth it at the end because it's something special that no one else has ever done, right? And it's unique. irregardless of the facts that, like, for instance, this storyline, the Sunken Rock story, it's not like the best story in the world, and it's not my favorite. It's not something I want to pick because of the story. The only reason I'll pick it up is because of the art, right? And the art is special in my opinion. Um, like, to do something like this is really amazing. It's not part of his artistic choice here. Like, what? It's something I want to make. I feel needs to be added. That's really nice. Um, right, some texture. Definitely, there has to be some shadowing here because of this stuff. And I could just do something like this, just like David Finch, like a vein or something. Then add some more textures around the skin. Yeah, that looks all right. That looks all right. And for the other hands, the other finger or knuckle, yeah, that's nice. You know what? Ideally, there should be shadows around here. Yeah, that's all right. Mm, yeah, that's all right. Yo, I just felt pain in my back. Oh Jesus! Probably because I'm bending like a croissant. That's not good, man. That's not good. I wish I could stand and do this stuff. Anyways, two hands already done. Look how straight the line is. Interesting. Lines have to be consistent. Yeah, so let's see what we have here. This deltoid shape muscle is going to be an interesting one. So seems like I don't know his exact technique, but it seems like he just uh, let me see something I'm looking for. So I'm going to draw these muscles first. Then I'm going to like this. I'm going to come over here. Hmm. I think that is okay. No, it's not okay. might have made that a bit. Yo, look at that. That is clean. Hmm. Yeah, that looks alright. Let me do this real quick. That is some rendering. Hmm. do believe I am getting the rendering technique. Um, it's a bit sloppy here and there, but I think I'm getting it. Guy has the most unique rendering style. One of the most unique rendering styles, I can't lie. So clean. And yet it does its best to follow the form of the character's body. Like every single rendering line has intent. That's quite intimidating, I can't lie. Of course, I do know how like different artists would, you know, probably make different decision regarding the like these veins on the arms. Hmm, just hoping I'm getting the rendering correctly. It is looking good so far. It is looking good so far. So, hmm, been at it for quite a while. So, thinking maybe I stop here and continue tomorrow because this rendering is taking a lot of time. Can't believe it. I don't think I would finish it today if I kept going. Do have other things to do. I can't lie, this was good fun. Yeah. Style is probably one of the most difficult to replicate, in the sense of that his rendering is just crazy. It's all fun and games, like getting the pose, till it's time to actually, you know, render. Then the men will be separated from the boys. You know what? I'm going to stop here for now. I'll continue tomorrow. I'll continue tomorrow. Hey John, who is this artist? I guess that's what you mean. Who is this artist? This is Boichi. His name is Boichi. He's the guy that worked on Doctor Stone, and he also worked on manga called Sunken Rock. It's not popular like that, but the art is pretty popular. A lot of people have seen this like art, and so I'm just copying the art style. And in comparison to other artists, his art like takes a while, especially because of the rendering. So yeah, I've been at it for a while. I know I'm quite slow. I can be quite slow at times, but I've taken a lot of time on it. So I'm going to end here. I'll stop here for today, and tomorrow I will continue the detailing and complete it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate you. Uh, appreciate the fact that you just drop in every day and just say hi. Means a lot, man. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day as well. Um, I'm about to end the stream now, so I'll probably see you tomorrow. Not slow. This kind of rendering takes time. Have a good rest. Thank you, man. I really appreciate. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.